Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
Here we are, two of us today.
Here we are.
Max isn't in yet.
No.
He's on his way.
It's due.
So he will be on videos later, at a later stage.
Indeed.
Yeah. Do you know anything about these drones over New Jersey? You surely do.
No, I don't actually. I've not heard anything about it at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's not just New Jersey anymore.
Yeah.
It's kind of spread across. We've got them here in the UK, over Farnborough.
Yeah. Right, okay.
So it's kind of spread out in the USA as well to like places like it. It's mostly in the northeast from what I've seen.
I think Farnborough's like air bases there, isn't it, I think?
Well, this is in New Jersey.
Right.
And I've got friends in New Jersey, as you know, and a few of them are saying there's drones everywhere.
Right.
But I think a lot of people are also confusing helicopters to commercial flights as well.
Right.
And it's causing a bit of a stir because the government are not telling anyone.
Yeah.
What the problem? What's going on?
Yeah.
Let's say.
Oh, right. Okay.
And they're kind of saying it's not a threat.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. But we don't know what it is.
Right.
And yeah,
It's a bit odd, isn't it?
very odd. And then there's stories coming out, stories that he's missing nuclear equipment or nuclear stuff's gone missing.
Yeah.
Right, and they reckon this is trying to find it. But then there's also people saying the mapping 3D street sort of like mapping.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but it's a quite serious story across the world now. I think it's panning out. It's become wider than what just New Jersey.
Yeah, right.
But let's start with these anyway and see this is a Watch Mojo. Gives you like an overview of what's going on.
Exactly what I need.
And I read a little bit about it this morning before I came into work.
Yeah.
So let's see where we're up to.
Right. Okay.
They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment.
Repeated sightings of strange things in the sky, inconclusive comments issued by multiple government agencies, and social media ablaze with conspiracy theories. If it all sounds like science fiction, then what's really disturbing is that the story is real. The headlines are mounting up, and public feeling is beginning to get a little edgy. In the latter stages of 2024, a rush of reported drone activity has captured global attention, and the apparent lack of a concrete explanation has reignited a debate for the ages.
Just for the thing as well, man, look at that. Just they're not small drones neither. They're not. Some of them might be, but a lot of them are big drones. Some of them saying the size of like school buses or the size of an SUV.
Yeah.
But I guess there's a lot of hobbyists as well now joining in the. I'm going to send my drone up. I was
going to say, a lot of people do have drones.
I've got one.
Exactly. Yeah. They are like a commercial thing, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, if there was a massive like influx of drones in the skies above Manchester, I'd put my drone up and sort of like go and have a look.
Yeah, probably.
Without doubt.
Yeah.
So I can get like 10 kilometers on my drone.
Yeah.
So it's not super far, but some of these drones can go like thousands of miles, can't they? Overseas and
the
shit.
Actual top ones, yeah.
But the original theory that it was coming from an Iranian mothership.
Yeah.
And then there's been loads of stuff, but the government are just not saying what it is.
Yeah.
They must know.
They probably do. But get your conspiracy theories out the way. That's what I say.
Are we safe on Earth? And are we alone in the universe?
Some of these drones are large. They've been compared to SUVs, for instance. They have flashing lights. They move in erratic ways, which a hobbyist probably would not be able to accomplish.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're taking a closer look at the drone sightings in New Jersey, over the rest of the United States, and indeed at other locations across the rest of the world.
As a scientist, I can only attend to real evidence, and my hope is that if the government has such evidence, they will share it with scientists, because what lies outside the solar system is not a matter of national security. It's of interest to everyone on Earth.
The first officially confirmed reports came in on November 18th, 2024, in airspace around Morris County, New Jersey. From then, fresh cases were filed daily, and the number of sightings quickly soared.
We've been looking for the past hour. I think we've seen about 40 or 50 of these drones. In fact, there's one over my shoulder right there.
Unusual objects moving or hanging in the sky, mostly at night, sometimes as a cluster in formation, and at other times alone and isolated. Their shape varies, although most often the reports claim them to be glowing orbs or pointed and triangular. These have come to be known as the New Jersey drones, although that term doesn't even begin to tell the story.
And they said this thing easily evaded them, disappeared out of thin air. So, to me, if this is not our military, then it's even more scary, and we need answers, frankly.
For one, it's a phenomenon that's by no means limited to only the state of New Jersey. The authorities in multiple other states, including New York, Connecticut, and Ohio, have all confirmed that large numbers of reports have been received there as well.
And with no indication the sightings are coming to an end, local and state officials are becoming increasingly impatient for answers.
Videos and images have been shared online. The strange lights have been recorded moving over towns, cities, large expanses of water, near to power stations, government buildings, and military sites.
I'd like to know what the volume is of drones that were out prior to this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you get a lot of, I know, like they're testing out like delivery services and drones.
That's right, yeah.
They're testing out like there's going to be hobbyists, like you say. There's probably a flight path over Red Bank because you're not far from Newark Airport.
Yeah,
there.
right, okay.
You sort of like you've got a few big airports in that surrounding vicinity. You've got Newark, you've got Philadelphia, you've got JFK.
Yeah,
there's quite a few within a close proximity sort of thing. And then you've got like heliports, you've got like smaller airfields that are sort of like around that surrounding area as well.
Yeah,
Teterboro, places like that. But I'd just like to know what the volume is in the sky prior to this.
Yeah.
Because like I say, I've got a mate he was on Facebook the other day, and you won't believe how many drones are in the sky. It's incredible.
I think you'll find because it's on the news now, they're just all going to be out flying them.
You'd take yours up, wouldn't you? You'd definitely put yours up as well.
I mean, you know me with conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
I'm one to tend to sort of like buy into them. So,
but you know, I don't know if it's the same. I'm sure it's the same wherever you go in the world with drones. Over here, you've got to have a license. You've got to have it registered. You've got to have like a registration number attached to the drone.
Yep.
You've got to sort of like get a sticker. There's certain size drones which you don't need them for, but most drones you need registration and then licensing and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But and then you've got like. I think with hobbyists and stuff like that, I mean, you've got some, but the government would know.
Yeah.
The bit that's concerning for me is if the government know it's safe and there's nothing to worry about, tell the people of the country what the problem is or why they're up there. Hey, listen, this is what they're up there for. You don't have to elaborate. You can just sort of like say it's a government exercise we're performing. We're doing some groundwork.
Yeah.
We're sending this up in the air, but people are pointing laser beams now. At some of the aircraft.
Yeah.
And some of the aircraft's like helicopter pilots are getting beamed with lasers.
That's not good, is it?
That's not good neither, no.
Stupid, that is. I mean, that's absolutely crazy.
But people want to know. It's just going to keep going. It's going to snowball, isn't it? People need to know what it is.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Just tell people what it is. If you don't know what it is, then it's a problem.
Sometimes people like the FBI, sometimes they might think, well, it's not an issue sort of thing. It's just people dicking about. Yeah,
I mean, not over military sites and not places where you've got radioactive materials.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not. I mean, he's touched on the guy before, touching on about it being possibly like aliens and stuff. I mean, you know, that ain't happening. They're not going to come down in drones, are they? They'll send a couple of drones there.
Don't know. You never know.
Behave.
There are clips of them moving at speed, seeming to pulsate. And in some cases, it's claimed that they've
sounds
been
like an
seen
aircraft.
to explode.
It did a bit, didn't it?
In one of the most shocking early reports, a police officer went on record saying that they'd witnessed around 50 apparent drones over the ocean and quickly approaching the U.S. coastline. Each of these drones is claimed to have been about the size of a car. The FBI alone is said to have received more than 5,000 tips related to potential drone activity over a period of just a few weeks.
What is going on in New Jersey?
We're investigating, but I don't have an answer of who's responsible for that, of one or more people that are responsible for those drone flights.
Away from America, and a number of other similar sightings have been reported. In the UK, unauthorized drones have been clocked over at least 3 U.S. air bases during the same late 2024 time window. In Germany, another reported sighting, again over a U.S. military base. In terms of who's behind the controls, China, Iran, and Russia have all been variously put forward as potential culprits. The seeming focus on American targets has led many to believe that it could be a foreign adversary of the United States that's flying the drones on some kind of large-scale reconnaissance mission. But the word from the U.S. government would suggest otherwise. In general, the official line out of America...
Just on that, I don't think they'd need drones for reconnaissance either. With satellites and stuff like that these days, these countries know exactly what's going on at every single airbase and sort of like foreign military facility all around the world. They know absolutely everything about it, and I don't think they'd need a drone about it anyway.
Not for reconnaissance,
that's for sure.
But
I think it'd be a bit blatant as well for countries to be.
What are you thinking so far?
I'm thinking it's just a few went up and then it's just snowballed because it's been in the news. And so you just get a load of other people
who has
just,
drones?
Just copycatting.
Yeah, but who has drones? Hobbyists? Which hobbyists have drones of that size, that magnitude?
Well,
I'm a hobbyist. My drone's about that big.
They're saying they've seen them the size of cars. Yeah. No one's pictured them the size of cars. No one's got proof of the size of cars. They're just saying it. Then again, it perpetuates online, doesn't it? And people keep repeating it. Oh, they're huge, they're massive, size of car, size of an SUV and stuff like that. I mean, right, let's see him then. Let's see him. Let's have some proof. Just got a few flashing lights in the sky.
It's nighttime grainy footage as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Could be on the flight path.
Of course it is, yeah.
Has seemingly sought to dampen speculation and to imply that there is no major security issue.
And a quick one as well. If you were on reconnaissance, by the way, I think you're probably more likely to do it during the day. You're probably more... Because you're going to be able to see more in the day, aren't you, rather than at night time when it's dark.
Maybe, but don't they normally say like under the cloak of darkness?
They've all got flashing lights. They've all got flashing lights. They're probably easy to see.
Yeah.
Anyway. I have no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or a public safety threat, or have a foreign nexus.
At the same time, however, the message
how do they know if they don't know?
Been clear. In late November 2024, a series of temporary flight restrictions were put in place over specific sites in the U.S., including over a Donald Trump-owned golf course in Bedminster, New Jersey, and around the Picatinny Arsenal military base, again in Morris County, New Jersey. Into early December, though, and the Morris County Prosecutor's Office sought to reassure the public, stating that there was, quote, no known threat to public safety. Nevertheless, in mid-December, a cutting-edge drone detection system was issued for use in New York State.
Today, we're asking the DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, to deploy special detection systems like the Robin.
Rumors swirled that, although the authorities were claiming that there was nothing to worry about, they were at the same time unable to track or verify most of the reported sightings that were coming in. Unsurprisingly, the message that everything's fine, but we don't necessarily know what they are, didn't wash with everyone. And actually, to some degree, it only added to the confusion and concern.
Now we got other politicians and officials in the government trying to tell us that these aren't what we're seeing, or like it's contributable to a 2023 rule change. And come on.
Inevitably, then, the issue was taken higher. On December 12th, the White House National Security Communications Advisor, John Kirby, addressed the drone reports during a dedicated press briefing, where he claimed that at the time, investigators did not believe there was any foreign involvement in any of the cases. Kirby also suggested that many of the sightings were simply of misidentified airplanes.
We've looked at the imagery. We can't corroborate some of the reported sightings through our own expert analysis using sophisticated detection techniques, but that doesn't mean that, we're putting our pen down here this afternoon and calling it a day. We're going to keep at this.
But the government line has only served to generate...
Not very convincing, is he? Do you know what I mean? If you're a concerned citizen, right?
Yeah.
And he's the head of, what was he head of, FBI or whatever he was, or CIA or whatever it was, and he's saying, listen, we don't know what it is. He's not convincing enough.
I know what you mean. I mean, over the years, they've done it with UFOs, saying, "No, we don't know what they are. It's just,
this
we've
is
no
a little
idea."
bit different now. You've got
so
people...
they've sort of like, skirted around the issue a bit, so as to not create panic, I suppose, and this, that, and the other, and But you think on this one, they'd just be able to say that you will be able to say
this
is
what it
is.
is
To the public just dicking about. Simple as that.
Yeah, stop it.
They're trying to sort of, but maybe they don't want to paint themselves into the corner just in case there's something sort of awry. But
personally, I think it's more of a US military exercise.
Possibly,
or a US government exercise.
Because they always thought that about UFOs, didn't they? Where it might be sort of like secret planes or this, that, and the other, and things that they were testing. So
even the ones going across the other places like Ramstein, I think it was there, and you've got like other bases in the UK. I think it said where they're all US bases.
Yeah,
they're not flying over other national bases that we know of, and it's not elaborated to this on it. It's purely kept to the USA.
Yeah,
well. I don't know. It's. I think they've got to tell you what it is if they know, or at least put your mind at rest. Not just say we don't know what it is, but you're okay.
Yeah,
there's no threat. I think they've got to say this is what it is. It's a US testing thing.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah,
or make something up. Tell me it's something to do with the weather.
Yeah,
pepper in the skies.
More frustration for some. There have been multiple stories of tension between local government and law enforcement and the federal government higher-ups. Those on the ground, local sheriffs and mayors, particularly in Ocean County, New Jersey, have repeatedly put pressure on national government figures to provide greater transparency and more detail. They feel, though, that more often than not, their calls have fallen on deaf ears.
After watching Robert Wheeler's testimony today, I'm kind of fed up, and I'm part of that group of mayors that authored a pair of letters on Sunday trying to bring more focus to this, and we did. I genuinely think it's time to start harvesting drones and stop worrying about the rules. Whoever's running these drones, they're not worrying about the rules. They're using the rules against us.
December 16th proved to be another crucial day in terms of how the narrative took shape. The FBI, the FAA, the Department of Homeland Security, and the Defense Department issued a joint statement saying that after close examination of the data, they deemed the sightings to be, quote, a combination of lawful commercial drones, hobbyist drones, and law enforcement drones, as well as man-fixed wing aircraft, helicopters, and stars mistakenly reported as drones, end quote. They claimed to have found nothing anomalous, and again, nothing by way of a national security or public safety risk. A seemingly positive development, but the vagueness remained.
A lot of Democrats and Republicans are confused and very, very, frankly, frustrated.
At the same time, President-elect Donald Trump spoke about the drones during a press conference at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. Trump said that the government knew what was happening in relation to the drones and that the military, quote, knew where they took off from, but for some reason they don't want to comment, end quote.
And I think they'd be better off saying what it is our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason they want to keep people in suspense.
When Trump was asked whether he had received an intelligence briefing on the drones, however, he also replied in the same non-committal way.
Have you received an intelligence briefing on the drones?
I don't want to comment on that.
All of which takes us, finally, to a run-through of the theories so far. First, and drawing from the joint statement made by U.S. security agencies, one possibility is that all of the sightings really are conventionally explainable as being related to scheduled military activity, police activity, or even simply to amateur drone users deliberately fueling the story by purposely flying at night more often than usual, and in or around New Jersey in particular. There are some other, much darker ideas and conspiracy theories out there, though.
There is information, but they're holding it back. And now what you have is panic. Originally some questions, now you have serious, serious concerns.
One is that no matter what the U.S. government says, the drones are being controlled by America's adversaries for reasons unknown. Another is that the drones are and were launched by America itself, but the secretiveness is due to some kind of disturbing reason for their deployment.
My guess, my own guess, is that these drones are not nefarious in intent. If they are, they are, but I doubt it. But if they are drones, the only reason why they would be flying, and flying that low, is because they're trying to smell something on the ground.
John Ferguson, the CEO of Saxon Aerospace, caught attention on TikTok at the height of the sightings when he said during a video that he believed the drones were, quote, looking for something, that they were, quote, trying to smell something on the ground, before implying that that something could be a dangerous gas leak, radioactive material, or even a lost nuclear weapon.
There have been reports of spikes in radiation in the New York metropolitan area, 2 of them, one on each side of the Hudson. And so that leads to the conclusion that maybe they're looking for an implanted nuclear weapon.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into settings and switch on your notifications. Lastly, and unsurprisingly, the drones have been viewed by some as potentially being not of this world. 2024 has certainly been an eye-opening year in terms of UAP news, with the revelations around Immaculate Constellation and the November 13th congressional hearing both making international headlines. Could it be that this most recent spate of strange things seen in the sky is connected? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.
These are large drones. The state police helicopter flew over a 6-foot drone. I mean, this is crazy stuff. This is not, very easily available stuff. This isn't off-the-shelf stuff that you buy at Best Buy. I mean, these are legitimate aircraft.
For now, beware that there is a lot of misinformation around. With the drone sightings, there are some clips that have been found to be fake. But at the same time, there's no doubt that hundreds, even thousands of people are seeing something of note. The true significance of these events could well come to light very soon.
What we are left with are possibilities, many of them plausible, but all the plausible scenarios really are ominous.
Did you enjoy this? Yeah, I think people like him is just trying to make a name for himself, coming up with like stupid bloody theories. I mean, come on. Absolutely incredible. You know what? Do you want to know my theory? Go on. Right, sorry to blow everyone's thingy out the water here and, you know, call me Mr. Party Pooper, but there's probably a lot of very good drone makers are probably putting these stories out there. Christmas coming up, everyone's going to buy a drone. Call me Mr. Cynical.
Yeah,
call me Mr. Cynical, but...
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Cynical. There is that, and I think you could be right behind that. It's a bit of a promotion for people who want to own drones.
It's huge one, isn't it? I mean, when you've got news everywhere,
like you say, when you take into consideration, commercial drones, like people who might be making deliveries or doing whatever they're doing with drones. Then you've got the police activity. Then you've got regular aircraft, commercial aircraft. And then you've got the hobbyists. You could easily drum up 25, 30 drones within the space of a few minutes.
Fueled it a lot, hasn't it? But with it being on national news, it's fueled the sort of like speculation. And then a lot of people think, "Oh, I'll go fly mine now." Yeah. But it does happen. It does happen.
But I know over here, there's a lot of restricted zones where you can't fly drones. It's a hell of a lot. And it's kind of frowned upon a lot over here flying a drone, which I found out after I bought my drone. That I've got people who want to grass near where I live, although I'm doing it fully legally. But they still want to grass.
Well, they can grass all they want. They can't. If you're fully legal, it doesn't matter what they say. So, I can get why people might be a bit sceptical about it flying over US air bases and with them not saying they don't know what it is. So,
but the government
that's
will
fueling
know.
It a bit, isn't it?
But the government would know what it is.
Yeah, if it's
they'd find out very, very quickly.
I would guess so.
And that's all they need to do. Say, listen, this is something that Uber's running for a delivery service or whatever it may be. Don't worry about it. There's more drones. They've just launched another 35 drones. This is what it is. Don't worry about it. It's a service you're all going to have access to in a year. They're just testing it.
Maybe.
That's what it is. But let them know what it is. You've got to just let people know.
And the thing is,
there's no way they don't know. I'm not having that.
No, I think they've got to. If they don't, then it's pretty frightening, really, isn't it? If they wouldn't know where these drones are coming from, and they must be able to track them, and they must know where they're landing and coming from. They must do. And I think if it was aliens, I think if you're travelling a couple of thousand light years, right, to get to Earth and the nearest planet, I think you'd come up with something better than a drone as well.
You'd have to have something to charge it with, wouldn't you?
Exactly.
Big massive battery. That's probably what the size of them are. That's what it is. Battery's the size of the car. The drone's tiny.
All right.
Anyway, let us know in the comments what you think, what you guys think.
Interesting.
It's a very much ongoing story. I did this with Aidan when it first broke a week or so ago.
Yeah.
And we chatted about it on there. We really didn't know what was going on then. It was like the first day it sort of like came out. And it's been going on for the best part of a week or so. But it's just an interesting story.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it develops.
I want to know. I'm just interested to know what the outcome is.
Yes, same here. Yeah. Well, that's it. It's the first I've heard of it, so it'd be interesting to see.
You can't shoot any of them down for safety reasons. They're saying.
Right. Okay.
But, how do they? Can they follow one?
Well, you'd think if it's for national security reasons, you'll do. But then again, if it's not an issue, then they're probably not going to bother either.
Yeah, because they'll probably know what it is.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But it's a bit thing. Why they don't just come out and say it.
Yeah.
Not sure about that, but
anyway,
interesting.
Yeah, let us know in the comments what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.